Alright, what's up my brothers? I don't want to say it, but lock yourselves in the basement. The Martians are here. We upload twice a week, so definitely subscribe. This is about 10 credible UFO encounters that are impossible to ignore. This is gonna be a good one. This is coming from Destination Declassified. Let's check it out.
Welcome to another episode of Destination Declassified. In today's video, we're going to be counting down the top 10 UFO sightings and stories from the past.
Okay.
As well as a few modern mysteries to make us question whether we are alone in the universe.
Nah, I don't believe it, man. The universe is just so humongous. There is just impossible. The odds of us being alone is equally terrifying than finding like somebody out, right? I'm a believer. One, if you're a believer. Two, if you're not, that's fine if you're not.
As time goes on, due to the ongoing disclosure projects by government officials.
Yeah.
Not to mention the continuous catalogue of sightings, videos and photographs from members of the public. Technology has provided us with the tools to see everything everywhere, all at once. So it goes without saying that there will be plenty more to come. However, without further ado, let's take a look at our top 10 UFO sightings and encounters.
Let's take a look.
Enjoy,
the phones are...
and please remember, keep looking up, because you never know what you're going to see.
The phones are good, but let's be real, right? The phones are still bad at like zooming in and capturing at night. We're still not there with that technology. Maybe they purposely made it so we cannot capture stuff that is far at distance and we cannot capture at night. Maybe they purposely made that.
Number 1, the Phoenix Lights incident in Arizona.
Oh yeah, 1996, right?
The Phoenix Lights phenomenon was first reported around 8:15 p.m. near the city of Henderson, Nevada, on March 13th, 1997, where local residents witnessed an extremely large group of amber-colored lights in the evening sky. According to the observers from both Henderson and Phoenix, the lights moved slowly in a V-shaped formation. Its accuracy and imposing presence caused panic, confusion and fear amongst those who managed to capture a glimpse of it. The influx of reports, sightings and concerns rose enormously by 10 p.m. local time, with many claiming to have seen the lights emitting from a large arc-shaped structure.
This is so crazy because like back in the 97, back in my days, I mean I was like 1 year old at that point, not even a year old at that point, just a couple of months old. I was born in 96, but the story is so crazy that there was thousands of people that actually claimed they have seen that. Thousands and thousands of people that claimed they've seen it, but then the officials mocked those people and they said that nah bro, it's like the Chinese lantern military exercise. They tried to spun the narrative around so many times and in so many different ways. It was actually just a slap at human intelligence, at the public's intelligence, bro.
Others recorded the light glowing brightly before randomly disappearing or deviating from the others.
I just wish that we had like good cameras. I believe we did, but not everybody. Not like everybody had good cameras, and it was nighttime on top, like I said. Like
whatever it was, it certainly got people talking.
Yeah.
And as the night wore on, and the lights reduced in altitude, more theories began to circulate that they were actually attached to a dark-colored object, which was blocking out the skyline. They would eventually disappear, leaving everyone baffled. Since the events of that evening in 1997, there have been countless theories and so-called explanations for the phenomenon. The obvious conclusion would point towards a group of aircraft flying in a choreographed formation. There was a registered report by...
I don't want to believe that. I don't want to believe that. It sounds just so cool, like, hearing the what-if scenario. But yeah, I mean, it's possible, but those lights were not aviation lights, though, like...
who was stargazing.
I thought that we were far away from this argument.
A fleet of Cessna airplanes flying together in such unity. The squadron briefly blocked his telescopic view of the stars, and so this is the most logical justification. However, 11 years later, on April 12, 2008, the lights reappeared briefly and reignited the story within the city of Phoenix.
Oh damn.
A local resident claimed that his neighbour had tied flares to helium balloons and set them off from his garden, thus trying to recreate or explain the cause of the incident.
Bruh.
However, so far, there has been no credible, definitive explanation for the Phoenix Lights.
Yeah.
What do you think happened that night?
I think they are here. They are here. Lock yourselves in the basement. They really are here.
Number 2, the Coyne helicopter incident.
Oh snap, I don't know about this one.
Also known as the Mansfield Mystery, the Coyne helicopter incident is a famous sighting that took place in the midwestern state of Ohio. on October
Ohio?
18th, 1973. Around 11 p.m, US Army Reserve helicopter pilot Larry Coyne and a few of his colleagues were flying over the city of Mansfield in Richmond County when they came across something so bizarre that it terrified the captain and haunted him for the rest of his life. The journey from Columbus to Cleveland was disrupted when a bright red light in the distance was noticed by one of the crew members, initially showing no signs of danger. However, within a few seconds, the ball of light came hurling towards the helicopter at an unbelievable speed and precision.
Yo, I could only imagine, right? Like these flight pilots and the pilots in general, they must see a lot of that. A lot of this activity in the sky. Some goes unnoticed, other and unreported, I would say. There used to be a like talk about the pilots seeing a lot of that crap, and they were told to shut up, not talk about it, because either they're gonna kick you out of the job, or they're gonna take you as like a crazy person, right? There used to be a whole lot of talk, but right now they're actually looking into it. They are trying to be a lot more serious, which is actually really, really good. But I have to wonder, bro, these pilots definitely see a whole lot more, and I can only imagine they're probably terrified too, because they imagine they go left and the UFO goes left, right? And then it just can have a collision, and they don't want that, so they probably stay on track. And recently there's also like that image 3070 incident that happened back in 2014, so that has been revived, and now everybody's talking about that. Hey, it was the alien abduction, the aliens actually abducted, the UFO abducted the plane. And there's a video that's going around. Some of you probably already know, already have seen it, but the video is not anything new though. The video was a topic of discussion back in 2014 when that plane went missing, and it just started to resurface, and nobody knows how it started to resurface.
Forcing the captain to perform an emergency aerial maneuver to avoid colliding with the entity. Regaining a visual of the craft, which was seemingly disc-shaped according to subsequent reports. The men were shocked to see that it was completely still in mid-air and shining an extremely bright green laser at them. Preparing for the worst, the men braced for impact, but were shocked to see the object shoot off into the distance towards the Mansfield region. For Larry and his team, the event would leave them shaken and at a complete loss as to what they had just endured and witnessed. Coyne spoke with the local reporters to try and spread the word, in an attempt to make sense of it all, and to hopefully gain some answers. He would also go on national television to speak of the incident during an episode of The Dick Cavett Show. Determined to raise the importance of the incident, the helicopter captain took his case file to a special political committee of the United Nations, stating, "As a result of my experience, I'm convinced this object was real, and that these types of incidents should require a thorough investigation."
Yeah,
the case
I agree.
still remains unsolved all these years later.
And it will be unsolved, because let's be real, you do not know what truly happened. And it's one of those things, right? We see these objects just accelerate at crazy amount of speed. A human cannot do that. If a human was inside, he would have died. Or maybe this is one of the theories, right? Like, what if you are inside the UFO and then you can just like you can move so fast and it doesn't even affect yourself when you're inside it? Because what we're noticing from these are that they can stay stationary, gravity don't even affect them. So what if a human was inside one of these like UFOs and it can still do those moments like and what if the humans are not affected by that? Because I'm just like assuming that based on what we're seeing, like they just go so fast and it's not affecting them. So I would like to believe that if, for example, if the aliens are real and it's the same aliens that are inside the UFOs that are making those movements, what if those aliens were put in a normal human plane and told to do those kind of like movements? Obviously we cannot do those movements, but if we were able to, and you would put those aliens inside the plane and they then made those movements, they probably might die just like us though. I think it's the technology they have.
Number 3. The Rendlesham Forest Incident. The Rendlesham Forest Incident, also known as Britain's Roswell, is widely considered to be one of the most interesting and believable cases of an unidentified flying object, mainly due to the witnesses being United States military personnel.
Of course, then it's
the
important,
event took
right?
place around 3 a.m. on the 26th of December 1980 in the forests of Rendlesham, a village in Suffolk County, England, and near the joint US-UK military base of RAF Bentwaters and RAF Woodbridge. According to the reports from the eyewitnesses, including Deputy Base Commander Lieutenant Colonel Charles Holt and other military officers, a mysterious fast-moving aircraft was observed and tracked in the skies above the forest.
Man.
After searching the wooden terrain, the
daytime or nighttime? Did he say that? I don't think
officers came upon the craft, which was now stagnant in a quiet area of the forest, its structure glowing brightly. Luckily, the men were able to get a closer look at the craft, describing its body as being metallic and covered in strange hieroglyphs or symbols which were in—
Bro, like if it's really like this, right? Like I don't know. I mean, we constantly hear that they are like very, very short. Nobody make fun. Don't make fun of them. Otherwise, I'ma find you, okay? I'ma find you. But the fact of the matter here is this, right? We constantly hear that they are short. They're not that tall. And yeah, it kind of makes sense, right? Like this is like very, very short. How many people can be, or how many aliens can be inside? Like 2, maybe 3, maybe just 1 only. Maybe this is just like 1 alien type of spaceships, and it's like, man, no propellers, nothing like that. This is a crazy looking one, y'all.
Inscribed
crazy
across
looking
its
one.
surface.
Got some hieroglyphs.
Eventually, the men would retreat from the entity and report their findings to their superiors, claiming that they experienced a range of physical and psychological effects after their encounter.
Oh, damn.
An official investigation was conducted by the military, but found no conclusive evidence other than the officers' testimonies. In December 2018, David Clarke, a British ufologist, claimed that the occurrence was merely a prank, that the SAS staged the whole—
Well, there we go, boys. It was a prank. Yeah, why is it always a prank, bro? Why is it always a prank? Can a brother not get a prank?
Incident to gain one-upmanship on the US Air Force. According to Clarke's initial claim, a group of SAS soldiers had parachuted into the area in August of the same year as part of a training test, when they were intercepted by US radar personnel, interrogated and even beaten to confirm their purpose and identities. The story goes that the UFO incident was the SAS's revenge. However, the claims were written off and dismissed by their respective investigative teams. Therefore, the Rendlesham Forest UFO incident is still unsolved. Number 4. The disappearance of Frederick Valentich.
Oh damn, I don't know
This
about
is a very interesting one. On October 21st, 1978, a young inexperienced pilot named Frederick Valentich was flying over the Bass Strait when he came into contact with an unknown entity, sparking a mystery that has never been solved.
I think I heard about this.
Fred was a 20-year-old pilot from Australia who had racked up a total of only 150 hours flying time and achieved a basic Class 4 instrument rating, meaning he could only fly at night under visual meteorological conditions.
Okay, if you're a beginner, then it's like only at night?
Official report.
It should be like daytime, no? Like more visibility. Okay, I don't know, man. I'm a rookie at this then.
That on the night in question, the amateur pilot radioed air traffic control.
Yeah, right? Like amateur pilot, then let the sucker fly at daytime.
Desperate attempt to describe what he had witnessed in the sky before disappearing forever.
Oh my god. So they did not find the plane?
The report stated that Frederick's flight path began in Melbourne's Moorabbin Airport via Cape Otway before reaching the final destination of King Island, the largest of the 3 New Year Group islands within the Australian state of Tasmania. It is reported that he departed from Moorabbin at 6:19 p.m. local time before arriving in Cape Otway 41 minutes later at 7:06 p.m, where he made his harrowing distress signal to air traffic control. Valentich stated that a mysterious vessel was circling his plane, tormenting him and throwing him off course. The terrified pilot was adamant that the craft was unlike anything he had ever seen before in his life and could not fathom what was happening. At precisely 7 times...
Yeah, I can only imagine, right? Like if you're a pilot and this was at a time especially when there wasn't that much talk. Obviously there was always talk, but in this day and age, like now we got like the senators talking about it. They are having like actual hearings about it. Whether you want to believe that or not, that's like different, right? But the fact of the matter here is that Everybody's talking about it. Everybody, and people don't care. Nobody really cares, right? Like, we all talk about, hey, that there, once we actually learn the truth, there would be mass panic. And I do believe that if we find them out the day they officially announce, yeah, people were like, yeah, well, okay, whatever. But the day we actually see them, that's when it's gonna change everything. Whether you're gonna be panicking or you're not gonna be panicking. But if you find out that they're hostile, and we physically see them attacking, that's when I think people will start to really panic and go by like those toilet rolls. Bruh. Just like how, you know, in the beginning of 2020 with the Roni situation, I still cannot say that word on YouTube, like how we saw people just hoard up on those toilet paper. I mean, that was crazy. Yeah, you know, people, don't hoard up on toilet paper this time, man, if that happens. Hopefully not.
12 p.m. He is recorded as saying an aircraft before his signal was lost. These were his last words, as his plane and body have never been found.
Damn.
So what happened to Frederick Valentich? Some say it was a prank. Some say it was a careful choreographed suicide mission by a UFO fanatic.
How is that a prank, bro? A prank in a sense where, like, he made himself look like, or he's playing dead? That's what you're trying to say?
Others believe that he was taken.
Insurance money, maybe? Insurance money? Yeah, that's the only logical reason, Scotland. I think.
Many agree that Scotland is a beautiful country with an immense history. It is also known for its mysterious and mythological creatures, such as the Loch Ness Monster and the Unicorn, as well as being a hotspot for UFO sightings. Bonnybridge, a small village situated between Glasgow and the capital Edinburgh, is known to attract hundreds of stargazers and UFO enthusiasts from all around the world.
Yo, I so wanted to stargaze with my homies the other day, but we had like one of my friend is like very, very lazy. He's like really lazy. We were in a car, we were in a perfect setting, clear sky. We were able to see the stars even at the highway when there was like a little bit of light, and we were able to see so many. So my other friend was like, bro, I found this stargazing setting which is like 30 minutes away from us, and he was like, nah man, we'll do it another day. Yeah, sometimes like it's just like everybody's excited, but you just have like one lazy ass friend that's like, no man, let's not do it, and it's like, damn man. And the car happens to be his, he was the driver, so you see where that was going, right? So but stargazing, I'm a big fan, bro. Like I wanna do it because it's just fascinating to me. How many of you guys have the luxury to do it? How many of you guys want to do it but never? Or how many of you guys are like, bro, I don't even look up, like, oh, there are stars there, there's stars there, I don't even know. I want to know where you guys, I want to know where you at.
And is said to have recorded more than 6,000 sightings over the last 30 years.
Bruh, what?
6,000? Dating back to the early 1990s, the sightings of unexplained objects in the sky, not to mention the weird crop circles in the local fields, have sparked intrigue and confusion from local residents.
That's a massive one, holy.
A very interesting story from a nearby area dates back to November 9th, 1979, to the recreational area of Decmont Law, on the northern fringe of Livingston. Around 10:30 a.m, Robert Taylor, a forestry worker, was attending a plantation site close to the M8 motorway, where he came upon a large spherical object in the middle of the clearing. He describes the vessel as being approximately 12 feet high and 20 feet in diameter, with a grey-coloured metallic finish.
Okay, that's tall.
Taylor hesitantly walked towards the mysterious entity to get a better look, when all of a sudden, two small spikes shot out from the bottom of its body, and it began to roll in his direction.
Oh my god.
Startled by the oncoming entity,
oh my god,
Taylor was unable to avoid its spikes, which he recalls grabbed him by his trouser leg and dragged him towards a large object hidden in the woods.
Oh damn.
At this point, the forestry worker passed out and would only regain consciousness 20 minutes later in the middle of the clearing, unsure if he had just been abducted by mysterious or extraterrestrial forces. A thorough check was done by the police and local council, but they could not detect anything out of the ordinary. To this day, Robert has no idea what happened to him or what he saw.
Okay.
The Westall UFO incident.
Maybe it was a dream, or maybe not.
Clayton South, a suburb within the city of Melbourne,
Suckers would be like, yo, maybe he fell asleep, bro. He probably fell asleep, man. He probably fell asleep.
Victoria, lies a curious sighting that took place above a local high school. Also known as Westall, the area is best known for a mysterious UFO incident that took place on April 6, 1966,
US?
when a giant disc-shaped object was seen by multiple witnesses as it hovered above a Westall high school. Students, teachers, and concerned bystanders watched as the spacecraft descended from the sky and lingered slightly above the school, all the while emitting a bright light from its frame. As word began to spread, more than 300 students flocked to see the massive object as it loomed over their building.
Okay, is this in Australia then? Australia or the Africa one? Yeah, these were two of the massive UFO sightings where kids actually described that they saw beings and years later, right? Like we're talking like 20, 30. I don't know when exactly it happened, but it's like these kids are now grown adults, right? And they describe it, they are sticking with what they said all those years ago, and they still stick with the same situation, same narrative that, yeah, we saw something, we don't know, and yeah, we really think it's aliens. And I feel like that this school incident in Africa and in Australia, it's probably one of the best ones, and it's probably one of those cases that I tend to believe personally.
Some say it landed in a nearby field for a short time, before taking off again, after it was seemingly chased off by 5 militarized jet fighters who were attempting to capture it. After a short while, the eerily quiet UFO shot off into the distance and disappeared, leaving the witnesses shocked, confused, and full of questions. However, their inquiries were quickly overruled by the headmaster of the school. It is said that the teachers were quickly rounded up by the principal, who was accompanied by a group of men wearing black suits, and instructed never to discuss the sighting.
Ow! The classic, yeah, the classic. We love the Men in Black, but nowadays you don't hear about it, right? Nowadays it almost feels like that they have disappeared on the face of the planet because you do not hear that about it. You know, the last Las Vegas incident, maybe some of them actually showed up. Oh shit! Because they did say that they had government vehicles. You know, the guy that actually described that they saw 7 feet, 8 feet tall aliens in his backyard in Las Vegas. That happened just like 2 months ago at this point, right? So yeah, he did say that like a lot of government vehicles, neighbors were describing it, neighbors were saying that a lot of government vehicles are showing up, but it kind of makes sense, right? Because some of them were actually like undercover officers, some of them wanted to get a lot more information, and some of them were from the press as well, because everybody wanted to get their interview. I want the interview. So what did you see? So it was one of those situations, but I don't think we realistically have had those same Men in Black encounters like we used to hear all the years back.
Under any circumstances
all those years back.
Again. Could this be an elaborate hoax designed to attract attention to a small suburb in the middle of Melbourne? Or could it possibly be one of the best cover-ups in UFO history by the mysterious Men in Black? As of today, the site is now a UFO-themed children's playground.
Oh, damn. Oh, they really,
what do you think of this case?
Oh my god, yeah, there was a similar incident in Africa as well where they saw beings. Maybe he's gonna talk about it.
Number 7. The Lakenheath-Bentwaters incident. This is definitely interesting. It's the Lakenheath-Bentwaters incident, which took place over the aforementioned air bases in Suffolk, England, in 1956.
Oh, 1956.
Where a series of UFOs were reported by both British and American air forces.
Warthogs?
The story goes that on the 13th of August, at around 9:30 p.m, things began to occur in the skies above the Royal Air Force Base in Bentwater, where radar personnel picked up a large, fast-moving object coming into view from the Atlantic Ocean. The unknown craft was said to be moving at more than 1,000 miles per hour and in coordination with a set of smaller objects that were coming from the east, all of which dumbfounded the radar team on the ground. Due to the ongoing threat from the Soviet Union, a squadron of jets were deployed to detect and destroy the risk, whatever it may be. Lieutenants Metz and Rowe of the 512th Interceptor Squadron recalled seeing a bright, amber-coloured ball of light, which was quickly followed by another glowing orb, travelling between 2,000 and 4,000 miles per hour.
That's fast. That's faster than Fast and Furious Vin Diesel. I don't even think Vin Diesel has the ability to go that fast, though. That's fast, bro. That's fast, man. I truly do wish that... And in fact, we had like planes like that could have done that back in like a long time ago, right? But they dismissed those planes. It's like the normal plane goes around like 1,000 kilometers per hour kind of speed, right? That's like the average. It's a little bit below, a little bit around that. I'm talking about the commercial airlines. Kind of wish that they would go above like 2,000 or 3,000. We have the technology, but they don't want to do it because it's not that cost effective. It's gonna be a lot more expensive if they do that. They can certainly do it, and if they were able to do that, and if they were doing it, because at one point they were doing it, if they could do that, bro, like that would, the traveling time would be so damn fast, bro. Like it takes like what, 7 hours, somewhere around that, from where I'm at, like Montreal, Canada, to go to the UK. It would have been done within like 3.5 hours if we double the speed, and if you triple the speed, then holy shit, that would be fast as F, bro.
Of the RAF, who were stationed at the secondary base in Lakenheath, also reported multiple crafts on their radar, and deployed another 2 interceptor jets to chase and tackle the aerial menace. Forrest Perkins, who served as a technical sergeant during the ordeal, described how one of the planes managed to come into contact with one of the orbs, but noted how it vanished from view, reappearing behind him and giving chase. Unable to cope with their unusual navigational maneuvers and shockingly high speed, the pilots were ordered back to base and could only watch as the entity zipped back and forth before eventually disappearing. An investigation was opened by Project Blue Book, but a final conclusive decision has not been made public on the incident.
Oh damn! There was also an incident. This reminded me of an incident that happened where the UFOs actually toyed around with like nuclear bases, turned off some of the nuclear projects that they had, which actually shocked the base commanders and the people that were in charge at those bases.
Number 8. Washington D.C. 1952.
Oh damn. Oh damn!
Washington, D.C. is the capital city of the United States of America and home to the White House.
The White
It's
House
known for
one,
many
right?
things.
Yeah, I've seen like pictures of like the multiple like UFOs showing up on the White House, bro. Why is it always the US, dog? Why is it always the US, China, and Russia, dog? Like, I don't get
those
it.
of historical significance. A well-known conspiracy
US.
theory relates to the claim that extraterrestrial beings are communicating with world leaders across the globe with regards to our natural resources and way of life.
Way of life.
Well, could it be that our alien friends paid a visit to the president back in 1952? On July 19th, 5 years after the famous Roswell crash incident in New Mexico, a group of 7 unidentified flying objects was spotted over the Pentagon's secure airspace, baffling radar teams on the ground. Foreseeing a potential threat to national security, jet fighters were dispatched to investigate. Upon approach, the mysterious orbs disappeared, only to reappear once the defense squadron landed back at their base.
I mean, like, bruh. Hey, why you guys like playing cat and mouse? Just show up, bro. Just show up. Show the F up, bro. Show the F up.
The first incident occurred just before midnight on July 19th. Air traffic controllers noted that a total of 7 unknown crafts were recorded on radar near the White House and Capitol buildings.
7 individuals?
These coincided with an airborne pilot sighting of mysterious objects, as well as a National Andrews Air Force Base report. Radar personnel at NAAB recall seeing a bright light hovering in the sky that was saucer-shaped and disappeared at an incredible speed once it was spotted. The following weekend, the UFOs returned and appeared on radar yet again. This time, however, they counted a total of 12.
Yeah, they basically brought their alien friends.
Bruh.
They were like, these suckers don't know what's happening. Let's actually do a barbecue party today. Oh, we miss George? Let's bring George next week. We also miss Michelle, so we gotta bring her to the party as well. So they brought 5 extra friends with them. Understandable. Understandable.
Again, nothing was shot down, located in the air, or fully identified. Although this did not prevent the press latching onto this story, publishing headlines such as "Jets chase down DC sky ghosts."
Yeah.
Sources.
You wanna know what else the jets chased down?
Swarmed the Capitol, and saucer outran jet, pilot reveals.
Of course.
Experts in radar technology believe the blips were caused by temperature inversion, whereby warm air sits atop cooler air, therefore trapping it and appearing as
This is like visual ASMR, like holy.
large entities on detection-based weather systems. Others feared it was a new form of aerial spycraft from the Soviet Union, and others believed that we were visited by aliens.
It's the aliens! Lock yourselves in the basement! They are here!
What do you think?
They are here!
Number 9. The Yellowknife Mystery.
Yellowknife? What?
Back to the here and now, and to a much more recent incident, this time over the skies of Yellowknife, the capital city of Canada's Northwest Territories.
Oh, Canada. Damn.
Around 11:15 p.m. on the 29th of January 2023, Canadian Air Force controllers and pilots struggled to identify two white lights moving in a circular motion.
Yeah, of course, it's Canadian, so they will suffer, bro. Like, I know, man, I'm in Canada, so they will obviously struggle, not suffer. Struggle, they will struggle, though.
Most of which was caught on an audio recording. The ATR 42500 charter flight from Fort McMurray in Wood Buffalo, Alberta, was on approach to the city of Yellowknife when the crew noticed something strange ahead of them. "We're looking at two lights dancing around here," said one of the pilots to local ground control, as they caught a glimpse of them coming from the east.
Yeah, that would actually low-key be terrifying because you do not know these moves. Now, so far, we have never heard like a UFO kind of like crashed a plane down or something like that. We never heard that. But still though, right? Like, imagine you're a pilot, you're seeing like two objects bouncing around in front of your view, right? Like, this is your view, okay? This is the plane, you're in the cockpit, and in front of you there are like two objects, okay? Two objects there, and this is where you at, and these are like bouncing around. I can only imagine, because do you go left? Do you go right? Should you not be bothered? I don't know, man. Should you be fearless and strong?
Nothing was shown on radar at this moment, and it didn't take long before the lights switched direction towards the northwest of the city. According to the Civil Aviation Daily Occurrence Reporting System, an Edmonton air traffic controller and shift manager were notified of the sighting and generated a report using communication instructions for reporting vital intelligence sightings. This latter is an air-based protocol, which is implemented when pilots notify ground control of unexplainable aircraft in the sky that are believed to be dangerous or hostile.
Yeah,
back to the night in question and to Canada North Flight 5071, where the pilots continued their discussions with those on the ground. "They're above us. We're not seeing them on TCAS, Traffic Collision Avoidance System, but we can see the lights moving around," said one of the pilots. When questioned on the visuals that the crew had obtained at approximately 27,000 feet, the frustrated captain responded by stating, "We're not crazy."
Yeah,
the incident itself
we're not crazy. Stop calling us crazy. You people, you tell us we crazy, but we not crazy. We see them with our own eyes. We not crazy.
Sided with Chinese spy balloons that were caught floating across.
It's not Chinese lantern or Chinese balloon. We not crazy.
The sky in both the United States and the rural regions of Canada.
Let me pop that.
So could this be a coincidence? As there is no definitive explanations for the lights, the database has logged the event under tags weather balloon, meteor, rocket, or service/UFO. What do you make of this one?
That they are not crazy.
Number 10. It's probably a fitting end to this top 10 list of UFO sightings with the recent updated news on the government disclosure project of unidentified aerial phenomenon, which the Pentagon has released within the last few years. In June 2021, a report from the Office of the Director of National Intelligence stated that a total of 144 encounters between military pilots and UAPs from 2004 to 2021 were being thoroughly investigated. In July 2022, the Pentagon established the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, whose role was to track and dissect all UAP activity. By December, it received several hundred new reports and sightings. A quick Google search will result in videos, which
thank you for subscribing, love you, appreciate you. That has to be on the main channel, but thank you for subscribing.
Have been doing the rounds online and broadcast across office screens within the US Senate. The leaked military footage shows odd-shaped aerial crafts moving at extremely fast speeds close to naval sites off the US coast. These bombshell videos have spurred members of the public, politicians, and whistleblowers to demand detailed explanations as to what these objects are and what their intentions have in store for us Earthlings. Former intelligence official David Grush, who studied unexplained anomalous phenomena within the US Department of Defense Agency, has alleged that the objects are intact and partially intact alien vehicles of non-human origin. David spoke at a debriefing with a US Congress committee, stating that since providing other truth seekers with his detailed knowledge and information, he has suffered extreme retaliation and threat.
Yeah, and here's the thing, right? Like, he did say that he cannot provide evidence in like a public setting, but he's willing to provide it right after the same day right after this hearing was over. And I can only imagine, and I have to imagine that he must have provided, the day this hearing came out, he must have provided this all the evidence that he claimed to have to them. I can only imagine. And if he really did, though, what was in there, and when are we gonna hear about it next? Because we're definitely gonna hear about it next. We got to, right? It's been a couple of weeks now, so we have to hear more on it.
Threats from government officials. This assessment is based on the vehicle morphologies and material science.
Do you believe him? I mean, after all, he has good credentials and he's under oath. It doesn't mean that he cannot lie. He certainly could be lying. But I don't. Yeah, he has good credentials. He's under oath. If they find out that he's lying, then he obviously can go to jail though for some amount of time. So I don't think he would toy around with it, or maybe he's like government plant or something. I know there are some people like that. I don't believe it, and I understand where people are coming from. You don't want to believe everything, and I'm saying that as a guy that believes in the ET, right?
It's testing and the possession of unique atomic arrangements and radiological signatures. David said after giving up his 14-year career in US intelligence. Despite not having personally seen these alien aircrafts or extraterrestrial beings themselves, the former employee continuously states that the government is hiding vital information on the subject.
I have not seen it, but the government is hiding.
of UFOs. In a response statement by NASA, a spokesperson said, "One of NASA's key priorities is the search for life elsewhere in the universe."
Wrong.
But so far, NASA has not found any credible evidence of
Wrong. Stop the cap.
Stop the cap.
Terrestrial life, and there is no evidence that UAPs are
Yeah, that I don't believe it. And people have been pointing this out, right? Like the fact that they are now officially talking about it. I don't believe it. That's what people are now saying. And whenever like NASA or anybody massive, whenever they say that the aliens don't exist, people are like, we believe it. Just stop the cap, right? And whenever they say they are here, people are like, nah, man, you cap. And what is true anymore? I don't know. But check this video out, guys. This is an insane story. Check it out, and I will see you right